UFC stepping in on short notice. Usman is now a middleweight. What's going on, guys? It is your boy. That was literally my reaction yesterday when I heard the news. When I heard the news that Usman and Volkanovski stepped in and saved this card. So I was talking to some of my MMA friends. I was talking to some of my MMA friends that were in the know. And I was actually one of the few people that believe that I don't think Usman saved this card. I don't think Volkanovski saved this card, but I think they both made the card 10 times better. I am so much more invested now, mainly because I'm a Volkanovski fan. Huge Volkanovski fan. Usman, I didn't hate him. I didn't dislike him. I was kind of apathetic towards him. I didn't really care about Usman, but something about him going up to middleweight in enemy territory makes me just want to root for him all the much more. We can talk about that Usman fight a different video, though. I want to talk about the Volkanovski and Islam rematch. So I was talking to one of my MMA friends that's in the know, and we both agreed that the more you look into this second Volkanovski and Islam fight, even though Volk's taking it on 1.5 weeks notice, which is absolutely insane. Shout out to Volkanovski for just being an absolute dog. Shout out to him for just having a pair of balls on him. We came to this consensus that the more you look into it, the better it gets. So let me just regale you guys. Volkanovski in his Yair Rodriguez fight sustained an injury. That's been a big narrative in this fight is Volk's injured, it's on short notice, nobody's really giving him a chance. It's Volk, so everyone's gonna kind of give him a chance and hope that he does it, but I feel like the outlook is the same that it was in the first one. A lot of people are very pessimistic about Volk's chances of getting it done. Believe me, that's just one fold in this gigantic story of a fight. You don't believe me? Let's talk about the mental. What does Volk's mental look like? Not only coming off of what many consider to be a win, and if what I'm remembering correctly, he believes as a win the first time against Islam, but then also getting such a monumental win over Yair Rodriguez, who a lot of people thought would be the guy to, and everyone thinks that about every guy that's going to face Volk, but who a lot of people, myself included, thought would give Volk a real run for his money. How does that affect Volk's mental coming into this Islam fight? And how is Islam's mental, being that he was so confident? I watched so many interviews in the lead up to that fight. Islam was so confident that he could get Volk out of there, and Volk gave him a run for his money. What does Islam, what's going through that Dagestani mind of his? I wouldn't be surprised if he was a little bit more hesitant to throw things. I wouldn't be surprised if he understood the magnitude, the gravity of the fight in front of him. Guys, we can't just say that this is a cut and dry fight. You want to talk about mentality? Hey, Volk loves being the underdog. Man, what does that do to Volk's confidence, to Volk's performance, that he wants to shock the world? Volkanovski is a guy, and this is why I love him, this is why so many different people love him. He's a guy that lives for these big moments. What does that do to his fight performance? Does that galvanize him to do better, to train harder? In this week and a half that we have left, is he gonna maximize the time that he has? Of course, you know he's going to. It's Volk, right, at the end of the day, but I think it's an important question to ask. Then you have a lot of people saying the fact that Islam was training for Oliveira for such a long time, or the fact that he was training for such a long time and Volk is coming off the couch, which I just don't at all believe in. I think Volk is a guy that always stays ready, right? He's the type of guy that drills specifics, you know what I mean? So I don't also buy this narrative that Volk is going to be this guy that's just been, sipping brewskis. He's probably been enjoying himself, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's also been in the gym working on his craft. You don't get to a point where Volk is, and you don't keep getting better like Volk does, I believe, unless you're in the gym 24/8. Then there's the fact that you have so much footage from that 25 minutes of fighting between these two men the first time. And not just 25 minutes of fighting, guys. 25 minutes where every conceivable juncture that could happen in a fight happened. Volk knocked down Islam at one point. Islam rocked Volk. There were a ton of ground and grapple transitions and scrambles. There is such a large sample size for both these guys to look at and to key into. And at the end of the day, if you really think about it, the only benefit that an extended training camp has given Islam, I believe in this situation, is physicality. Preparation-wise, Islam now has the same amount of time Volk has. And do you give the advantage to Volk in terms of preparing for fights? I think you do. Volk's a smart fighter. He knows what he's doing in there. He's got fight IQ. I'm not saying Islam's not. Islam has a very strong set of skills. But when it comes to putting the puzzle pieces together, I would give Volkanovski the nod 10 times out of 10. We don't know if Islam has any wear and tear, any bangs, bruises, injuries that Volk might not have had besides the injury that he's already sustained, right? This could be far more of an even level playing field than anyone could possibly imagine. And just so you guys can't say I'm knob slobbing on Volk this entire video, I could see an eventuality in which Islam woke up from that first fight, realized he kind of got dogged for a couple of rounds there, and absolutely puts his pedal to the metal and steamrolls Volk. I could be wrong, and I'll put it up on the screen if I am, but I don't think we've ever seen Volk at this short notice. Islam does have a lot more short notice experience, so we have to take that into account. There's also home turf advantage for Islam now. I'll cap it all off with this. I don't want to say this is a completely different fight from the first one, but there will be some new variables, and I don't at all agree with any of these media pundits that say Islam's gonna just like steamroll over Volk. I've watched enough Volkanovski fights to know that that's never gonna be the case. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Is there anything that I'm missing that makes this fight more wild? And I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.